The Latvian Grand Prix then at Kegums got underway. MX2 race 1. It was Jose Boutron who grabbed the whole shot from Jeffrey Hurlings, Jake Nichols, Jordi Tixier and Alexander Tonkov, with Mel Pocock in 6th in the early stages. But a couple of laps later, Hurlings found a way through on the Red Bull KTM, pushing the silver action rider Boutron into 2nd. Jordi Tixier soon followed through though, and that was on lap 6. So it was a Red Bull KTM 1-2 at that stage of the race. Febvre made a couple of mistakes as he battled hard to try and stay with Glenn Coldenhoff on the standing construct KTM, who was coming back from 10th, but Mel Pocock and Alexander Tonkov took each other out as they were fighting for 5th and 6th place. Mel Pocock just lost the front end at the wrong time. A couple of laps later, Tonkov, who'd rejoined the race, went down all of his own accord. Turned out that he had a problem with the elbow and couldn't hold on, and he would then pull out of the race and would not start race 2. Jeffrey Hurlings though won race 1 for Boutron, Coldenhoff 3rd. MX1 race 1, and it was Kenda Dyker and Tony Cairoli who charged into the lead, but Cairoli ran wide and clipped Gauthier Paulin. He went down, and Tommy Searle ran into the bike, and also Joel Roulance was caught up in that. So after that it was pretty static as De Dyker, Cairoli and De Salle were the first 3 riders. Evgeny Bobryshev was in 6th position, but it was Gauthier Paulin who was hard on the charge, found a way past Max Nagel and then past Evgeny Bobryshev. That would get him into 6th position when he went around the outside of the Russian into the wave section. Next guy in his sights would be Kevin Strybos, but he was a few seconds further up the track, and it was touch and go as to whether he'd catch him or not. David Philipparts found a way past Matis Caro to go into 11th place. Caro would eventually finish down in 16th position at his home race. But Strybos was having a good ride, and then he found the pressure and too difficult, but Paulin eventually finished 5th. De Dyker won race 1. MX2 race 2, Jeffrey Hurlings this time made sure of the whole shot, held a tight line through turn 1. Behind him was Boutron. Charlier was challenging Febvre for 6th, dug the front end a little bit too deep, went over the handlebars when it was out of the points at that stage of the race. He did rejoin and crashed again, going from 18th, eventually finishing in 20th. Alex Lupino was having a good ride. The number 300 Kawasaki found his way past Boutron. He was 3rd at that stage of the race. And then not long after that, Lupino would crash out of the race. Petr Petrov 152 on the Kimi Ratek Vanderlei Yamaha. Charged up the inside of Roman Febvre to go 4th. Dean Ferris charged up the inside of Tim Geisert to go into 7th after a poor start. That's where he would finish, but Jeffrey Hurlings once again in control. Tixier was 2nd, Boutron 3rd, Petrov 4th. Hurlings went on to win the race in the overall Grand Prix. And that was your podium just there. Jeffrey Hurlings winning for the 27th time in his MX2 career. Jose Boutron was 2nd. Jordi Tixier was 3rd. Of course, Hurlings has won every Grand Prix in 2013 so far. So it's another red plate for him as we head into round 12 in a week's time when we go to Finland.
Jeffrey Hurlings, 27 GP wins now under your belt. You're now tied with Dave Strybos as the best ever Dutch rider. How does that feel?
Feels really good, you know, being only 18 years of age and knowing hopefully I've got many years to go, and yeah, I hope to beat this record, and I'm working for that, and working for my 2nd title. You know, I'm in a good way, so never could do it without Red Bull KTM today. They worked their butt off for me, so I'm thankful for that. And yeah, on our way to for the last of the 3 rounds in a row to Finland, and hope to win there as well.
We'll see you in Finland.
Thank you.
The second MX1 race was a little bit more eventful. Cairoli grabbed the whole shot from Kenda Dyker and Rui Gonçalves. They were the early pace setters. But behind them, De Salle, Paulin and Van Hoorbeek were up there as well. Tommy Searle would have to fight from 13th on the first lap to get anywhere. But Rui Gonçalves in 3rd place stalled as he got it wrong coming through the wave section. He would drop down to 10th, but eventually work his way back to 8th. Bobryshev was on the charge, passing Roulant to go into 8th place, while Ken de Dijker was in 2nd. Clement de Sauer was coming under pressure from the Kawasaki's of Paul-Anne Van Hoorbeek and Tommy Searle. Searle came from a long way back to make this pass on Van Hoorbeek. That put him into 5th place, and then the following lap he went up the inside of Gauthier Paul-Anne to go into 4th, and he was closing in fast on Clement de Sauer, but then he caught a back marker through the right turn. He stalled the engine and lost a couple of positions, and that put him back into 6th place. Tony Cairoli went on to win the race. De Dijker was 2nd, de Sauer was 3rd, and that was the overall podium as well. So Cairoli winning here in Latvia a week after winning in Sweden. And of course, he also extends his lead in the championship as we head to Finland in a week's time. Another red plate will do nicely for Cairoli.
Tony, you moved into the race lead almost immediately in that second moto. How would you sum up your weekend?
Yeah, I know that was pretty tough, this race, because I didn't have so much fitness the last 2 weeks, not so good training for my knee injury, but so I had to pull away immediately. I tried first moto, I was a little bit waiting, and then Ken take some good gap, and yeah, he was gone. I couldn't hold it. He was very fast, and he win. So second race, I say, okay, maybe I try to pull from the beginning and see where I can go till with my condition, and I handled it pretty good. I respond on this attack on the last 10 minutes. So this is good. This is good for KTM. We are really happy. Also for the championship is going very well. I wanna dedicate this victory to my girlfriend. Birthday today. So happy birthday.
Thanks, Tony. Happy birthday, Jill.